the story there is I just joined it. I had no idea what like the mission or the history or anything until I had already been a member for like close to a year. Like my annual renewal was up, and I found out that it's actually the organization in 1975 that passed the law that allows women to have a bank account without a man's signature, just a personal bank account. And then in 1988, they actually lobbied for HR 5050, and it's a bill that allowed women to have a business bank account without a man's signature. And it stopped me in my tracks when I found out that I'm born in 84, that when I was born, I could not have a business, thank God, because I was only like a newborn. But up until 4 years of age, I would not have been able to have a business because unless I had a man's signature. It's just unbelievable. And I was actually talking to Mayor Kurt Watson about this, and he was like, I remember that because he's an older dude. He's been around the block for a little bit. And he told me a story of how he had to fly back to Houston to like sign some paperwork for his wife to get like a business. It's like something to do with business. She had like a land business. I'm not totally sure the details, but he's like, yeah, she needed my signature, even though this was totally her thing. And so what I'm trying to say is this organization, NABO, that's how we call it, NABO, changed the trajectory of my life. I literally would not be able to do what I'm doing. Ashley, I think that's true for you too. You and your husband own Plumbing Outfitters, so I don't know how that's all worked out. But I was like, okay, well, God, I'm going to, looked up at the creator and said, okay, I hear you. I'm going to have to support this organization forever because it's really important to me that little girls are not put in boxes, that they can do anything that they desire. So that's what I'm mostly involved in right now. I'm the advocacy chair, and my role there, my commitment there is to make sure that legislators in Texas know about us and that they can hear us and hear our needs, hear our business needs, and we can support them too. We are only bipartisan. We don't take any side. We want to be a part of the solution and make everybody win.
I mean, does that give you chills? Like, don't put little girls in boxes. I love that. And just to think that's not that's one or two generations removed. I mean, if you would have quizzed me on that, Heather, I would have said probably sometime in the early 1900s, those legislation changed. But no, this was literally in my grandmother's time, my mother growing up during that age. That's shattering right there.
Well, and how important is it for both of you? Because I know, Ashley, you're big networking. You're a part of several organizations. How important is that for y'all to be tied into these organizations to support your businesses?
Well, I can answer, but I want to hear Ashley's answer first.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that you necessarily go into it with the thought of what can you get out of it. I think you come to a point in your business where you've developed great leadership teams, you've empowered your people to take on more of your business, and then you find those passionate areas of your life that you're being called to that say, this is where I can expound, I can expend more energy, I can give back to the communities that have built us, I can make differences in people's lives and find meaningful ways to pour back into our communities. And that's at least how I've plugged in and found those organizations that mean something to me. It's like an outlet. It's out of gratitude, abundance of thankfulness that our businesses are where they are, and that gives us the freedom and the time to then give back in super meaningful ways. I don't know if that's how you feel about it or not, but
I could not have said it better. The only thing that I would add, this is just my personal story, is that I actually need that. Like it's my fuel.
Yeah.
Like giving back is literally my fuel. It gives me purpose. It gives me a reason to have hope for the future. It's like I can be real doom and gloom in my brain, and this is a way to get out of that and say, no, like we're going to make this better. We can make this better. We have the power to make this better. So it doesn't matter what you believe, like what you're passionate about, rather, like go out and do that thing, because that is your energy. That is that is my life force.
So just out of curiosity, having not been someone who started her own business
yet,
I'm sitting here listening. I'm sitting here listening to you guys, and I had one thought. And do men take this much care when they're running and owning their businesses to make sure that they are plugged in to all of these different organizations, to all of the networking? Just curious. Do either of you know? I mean, both of your husbands are involved in your businesses. Are they doing the same thing on their end?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily gender specific. It's probably more person specific. So
Sure.
maybe people that have grown up with seeing great influences in their life give back in meaningful ways. I think it's probably more person specific than gender specific. I've seen some really terrific men lead initiatives and take board chairman positions. I mean, they're all over. But maybe women just like have more of a natural pull. Like it does give them fuel. It's like a self filling, like to go out there and do those things maybe. Is that what you would say too, Heather?
I definitely don't think it's gender specific. I don't believe that in general. And in fact, when I won Austin Women's Way Awards, the first thing I did when I got on that stage was thank my husband because he's my backbone. And I think there's a lot of good men out there. So as much as I'm plugged into that feminist movement, I love men too. And I think men are great. And I think if we I think that they give back just as much, but I think that women have experienced, I mean, just like I said, like we've realized that we have had more limitations on what we can do. And I think that's just, it's not, I don't like to blame. It was just the times we were living in, right? We're not living in those times anymore. So that's what's so great is that we can continue that. So I look at it from a very empowering place, not a negative.
Well, and maybe it's just that women are more vocal about what all they are doing than men tend to be. Could possibly be
super quick to jump in and take action, right? It's like, this is a problem. We need a solution. Let's bring the best and brightest together to figure out solutions that will like solve the problem.